is making it bounce back. I think sir has joined us.
Yes, sir. I was just about to inform you that Alok sir is also with us. So, thank you so
Namaskar
much, Alok
sir.
sir.
नमस्कार सर.
सर आप म्यूट पे हैं.
आप लोगों ने लिप रीडिंग की. मैंने कहा विश्व पर्यटन दिवस की शुभकामनाएं.
सर आपको भी बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं.
Thank you so much, sir.
Wish you too, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Happy World Tourism Day to everybody. Thank you very much. I'm sorry, I think I'm a little late. एक प्रोग्राम ऑलरेडी आपके IITTM परिसर में चल रहा है और
जी जी.
चलिए.
Yes, sir. Sir, with your due permission, Alok sir, Pawan sir, can we start the session?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Please, शुरू कीजिए please.
Thank you so much. A very pleasant good afternoon and happy World Tourism Day to all the colleagues and Chief Guest Professor Alok Sharma, Director IITTM, Mentor Nodal Officer Dr. Pawan Gupta, Mentor Dr. Rinzing Lama, Mentor Dr. Charu Sheila Yadav, and all the faculty members of IITTM Noida, my seniors, colleague, and my dear friends. Today, on behalf of IITTM Noida Alumni Association, I, Ali Sharma, welcome you all to the virtual tourism talk show with the theme Tourism for Inclusive Growth to celebrate the World Tourism Day 2021. Thank you for joining us. We are delighted to have you all with us. Now, I would like our own mentor and nodal officer, IITTM, Dr. Pawan Gupta. He is having experience of 20 years in tourism education field. He is with us in IITTM since for approximately 14 years. He has been always a constant support to entire IITTM family. So now I would love to hear guiding words from Pawan sir. Over to you, Pawan sir.
Thank you, Ali, and it's my privilege once again to be among this August gathering of our alumni. It's a great privilege that all of you are doing well in your life, and this is what we pray to God and Almighty for the well-being of all our students and our alumni. So on behalf of INA, I extend my heartfelt gratitude and thanks and welcome to our River Director, Professor Alok Sharma sir. So thank you for joining despite your busy schedule and so many functions lined up today. We are grateful that you have given us time for this function of our Alumni Association. As we all know, the backbone of any education institution are the students and the pass-out students, which are known as the alumni. And the name and fame for the faculty, staff, and the entire institution basically rests on the shoulders of the alumni. They are the ones who go into the industry and bring good name for us, and we thrive on the accolades of our alumni. Now, this is a very high time that today's theme everybody knows is tourism for inclusive growth. So as IITTM being the premier institution and the torch bearer of tourism education in the country for the last 38 years now, we are the only institution in the entire India who touches upon all the sectors which are attached or affiliated to tourism industry, be it the CEOs of the companies or the rickshaw wala or the dhaba wala or the pandas at the stations or the coolies at the railway stations or the taxi drivers. We have had the privilege of training each and every one of them, creating guides for the industry, creating trained manpower as you all are for the industry. And we have seen the industry grow leaps and bounds, barring this pandemic period, of course. Since 2001, our industry has grown tremendously. And now it is high time that we look upon other aspects apart from economic benefits. So now is the time to look upon the responsible and sustainable aspects of tourism. As you all know, now it is high time. So far, we have been teaching the tourism stakeholders and the local population. Now it is time to train the tourists also. Because right now we are facing so much of challenges like challenges because of climate change, as you can see, challenges because of the natural mishaps which are happening in the country and everywhere in the world, challenges of pollution, challenges of plastic. So tourism industry has a lot of role to play in control of all these things. So as doyens of the industry, it is your duty, it is our duty that we teach our guests as well. We teach our tourists, especially in the Indian context, how to be a responsible and tourist, how to behave in a responsible way, and how to be produce a sustainable tourism aspect. So today I was attending a function of the ministry, and there was a catchword given by the president of UNEP, and he said that now is the time that we move away from Atiti Devo Bhava to Prakriti Devo Bhava as well. So अतिथि देवो भव हमारा कैचवर्ड रहा है, हमेशा से स्लोगन रहा है, बट इससे अब थोड़ा आगे बढ़ने की जरूरत है और प्रकृति देवो भव को भी हमें हाईलाइट करने की जरूरत है, एसिमुलेट करने की जरूरत है, ताकि आने वाले समय पे हम आने वाली जनरेशन्स के लिए भी अपने टूरिज्म प्रोडक्ट्स को छोड़ के जाएं. अदरवाइज जिस तरह का प्रेशर कुछ हाई डेंसिटी टूरिस्ट एरियाज पे होता है जहाँ पे कोई कैरिंग कैपेसिटी की स्टडी नहीं हुई है, and it becomes a hell for the destination, and we say in academics that tourism kills tourism. So excess of people in one particular place is going to hamper the growth and development and the sustainability of that place. So it is time that we as stakeholders in the industry, we as teachers, you all as the proponents of the trade, you all take this mantle upon yourself to spread the awareness about responsible behavior and sustainability aspects as such. So encourage your tourists to behave in a responsible manner. छोटी छोटी चीज़ें हम उसके लिए कर सकते हैं, जैसे प्लास्टिक की बॉटल को अवॉइड करा सकते हैं. वाटर बॉटल आप उनको एक मिल्टन की बॉटल गिफ्ट में दे दीजिए एज पार्ट ऑफ योर पैकेज. ऑब्वियसली आप उनसे चार्ज कर लोगे, बट एटलीस्ट अगर 10 दिन के टूर में उसने 30 बॉटल्स यूज़ नहीं करी पर हेड, and there is a group of 10 people, so you save on 300 plastic bottles in a tour, right? This is for just one tour of 1 week with 10 people, just by gifting them a Milton flask which is reusable, or give them a steel mug. जो प्लास्टिक के कप में वो चाय पीते हैं दुनिया में जा जाके, उसकी जगह वो reusable मग में चाय पिए. आपकी ब्रांडिंग भी होगी क्योंकि आप अपना कंपनी का लोगो और नाम उसमें लगाओगे, बॉटल में भी लगाओगे, मग में भी लगाओगे, and you can charge this amount of money as part of your package without even telling the tourists, right? Give them jute bags to avoid polythene. So these are small steps which we as tour operators and travel agents can take so that we contribute something to the safeguard of the mother nature. So this is all I want to say to all of you. Just a small message, how we can safeguard from pollution, how we can safeguard from the litter and the plastic menace which we are having, and more of अभी स्टडी नहीं हुई है, लेकिन जिस दिन होगी उस दिन मालूम चलेगा कि शायद सबसे ज़्यादा प्लास्टिक वेस्ट हमारी इंडस्ट्री ही क्रिएट कर रही है. सो वी हैव टू अवॉइड दिस एट all costs, right? And wish you all the very best to the Alumni Association, and thank you so much. And I'm happy to share it with Director Sir that this is the first IITTM Alumni Association which is a registered society now, registered under the Societies Act, and it has a registered address which is in IITTM Noida, and the founder members of Alumni Association are from 8 different states of the country. So we have a good representation of all the states as well. And we are very proud that almost 3 dozen companies have been opened up by the alumni of IITTM Noida in the past years. Though a lot of them are facing difficulties because of the pandemic, but I believe the pandemic is over now. We are confident we are not going to face the third wave, and things will be very, very good in the coming 6 months' time, and we will bounce back with the revenge. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Pavan sir. It's always whenever we connect with you, it's always a lot of knowledge we gather. And thank you so much for encouraging word and a lot of knowledge. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
So I would now I would like to welcome our chief guest for today's event, Professor Alok Sharma. He is director of IITTM for all the centers. He has a wide experience of 31 years and serving in the academics in various levels. He has a good command over the architectural planning for the tourism destination, accessibility aspect of heritage site, and the tourism destination layout planning. He has been associated with the Smart City project of Gwalior as well. I would request Alok sir to share a few words to us. Over to you, Alok sir.
Thank you, Ali, and thank you, Pavan Gupta ji. Good afternoon to everyone. I am delighted and elated to meet you all, the young and enthusiastic members of IITTM family. It is indeed a great pleasure for me to come on the platform where I can talk to you, the real treasure of IITTM. Today, I would like to take an opportunity to talk you on 2 points. I will start with the network is net worth. In today's time, our network turn out to be your net worth if you work on it diligently. I take an opportunity to share an idea, an initiative that would add more gravitas to the Alumni Association of IITTM. To improve the connectivity of our alumni, we have incorporated a segment in the IITTM website where we have added a feature that will help you to map the other IITTM alumni in the area, in that area. This will build more integrated alumni network, more cohesive group that can always be there for help and support. This network will help us just not to build a stronger alumni base, but will also create an influence to popularize this sector, this tourism sector, in terms of career in tourism and travel domain. We know this sector has not been explored yet. There are immense possibilities that are yet to be unfolded. Almost 40% of the seats remains vacant in IITTM. These, these
Restart.
seats will be filled with our support. Become the brand ambassador for IITTM. Persuade and inspire your siblings, cousins, relatives, friends, juniors, and neighbors. This would help to establish tourism and travel as one of the career options for them. It goes without saying that the tourism potential in India is incredible in comparison with other countries. We as nation has so much to offer in tourism domain. Today, on the World Tourism Day, we all should take a place to optimize the tourism potential of our country. In extensions to this, I would share another development that IITTM has made, and that is establishing an incubation center, an institute innovation center that has opened the door for entrepreneurship in the field of tourism and travel. Professor Khusro is coordinating it. This initiative can be taken forward cannot be taken forward without cooperation and coordination of alumni. Now I will come to the second point, that is image, that is related to the image of a place. So image is everything, not to be mentioned in the contribution of tourism and travel in term of providing employment at global level. In Indian economy, tourism and travel sector is one of the highest contributor in GDP. Tourism and travel as a profession allow us to live our passion of traveling, discovering new places, learning, protecting and presenting our culture and serving our nation. No other career option provides such dynamism, but still, as one sector, we are not able to leverage. The testimony to it is that being an Indian institute and one of premier national institute in the country, we struggle for admissions. Somehow, I feel that we have underestimated our role. We need to create more awareness in people about tourism profession and tourism professionals. We are the one who are continuously working to create image of brand India. We need to tell people that guide is also a guru. Guide means guru. But this can only be happen if we all come together and work towards for building the image of tourism and travel sector. Before I conclude, I would like to say कि अब सोचना बंद करना होगा, काम करना शुरू करना होगा। सोचने से कहां मिलते हैं तमन्नाओं के शहर, और चलना भी जरूरी है मंजिलें पाने के लिए। Best wishes on World Tourism Day. Stay safe and healthy, and God bless you. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, Alok sir. It was like, very, very motivating. And thank you so much for giving us two directions that it's a high time to start working. Because हमने 2 साल से काफ़ी चीज़ें हमने plan की हैं. But yes, of course, we need to start working on the same. So thank you so much for motivating us again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So now I would like to ask Saini to proceed with the further program. Over to you, Saini.
Thank you, Ali ma'am. A warm welcome to our chief guest, sir, as well as a mentor, and all the fellow alumni members, as well as students, whoever has joined us today. Happy World Tourism Day. Before we start everything, I'm just going to give a brief about our association once again. Somebody, like most of them already know about it, but there might be some few joinees today. So for them, I'm just going to give a brief introduction to them. Now, what we had done was like we had all the alumni members along, under the mentorship of our faculty members. We thought of putting together this alumni for all the pass outs of IITTM Noida, and to keep it as a general body, so that we can have a get together once in a while during the year or any times, to keep the memories alive, and also to promote and the welfare of the college as well as the alumni. So that's how we had thought of starting the alumni organization. Um, Now, what is it? It is what is INA? It is the association for the thousands of alumni who has already passed out from IITTM, and being the part of the institute, we are always associated with them, and we have come together to form the association under the guidance of our faculty members, and it has been successfully registered. Like our association has been successfully registered as well. Now, the vision for our association is to bring all the alumni of the institute for healthy interactions, to promote new ideas. Then, if anybody wants to seek any help or guidance, we are there to help them out, as well as we will be achieving to create fund which will be beneficial for the registered members of the association as well. And who is INA? Who are the ones who are belonging to this association? So we have the president, we have the vice president, we have President Ms. Ali Sharma, we have Vice President Ms. Sangeeta Barua, we have the General Secretary Ms. Shiny Ghosh, which is me, Joint Secretary Ashwini is there, Treasurer is there, Ms. Namita Das. There are the executive members, executive committee, as well as the members as well. And our patron is Professor Alok Sharma, who is also the director of IITTM. And our mentors are Dr. Pawan Gupta, the nodal officer of IITTM Noida, Dr. Rinzing Lama, who is the assistant professor of IITTM Noida, and Dr. Charushila Yadav, assistant professor of IITTM Noida. So now we have, in the past 2 years, we have arranged a lot of competitions as well for both the students of BBA as well as the MBA students, and we had tried, and since it was formed during the COVID period, we wanted to engage the students and to bring in some positive vibes among the students as well, and so that the students can put their minds away from all the negativity. So we were organizing the different types of competitions. And then we had the Sankalp Parv as well, where we were planting trees, both in campus and all over. Whoever was like wherever they were belonging, they were planting trees as well. So we had organized that as well. And then apart from that, photography and story writing, these kind of competitions we had held. We had hold. And um, this year, so we are going to host a talk show on the tourism talk show, and it is on the theme for this current year, which is tourism for inclusive growth. So to start our program, now I would call upon Mr. Akash Chatterjee, who is going to speak a little bit more on the tourism talk show with the theme, and then he can continue forward. Akash?
Thank you so much, Shaini, for giving me this opportunity to talk on behalf of the Alumni Association and take ahead this talk show on the tourism.
Akash, your voice is not audible.
Hello.
आकाश माइक को अपने हाथ में पकड़ के शुरू करिए.
Is it audible, Abhi? Hello.
Yeah, now it's audible. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you so much, Alumni Association, for giving me this opportunity to host this talk show on World Tourism Day. So first of all, I would like to convey a very happy World Tourism Day to all the stakeholders of this industry. And Director Sir, thank you for gracing this occasion, and our mentor Pawan Sir also to guiding us all through the way. Before I say about the event, I would just go and share that what is the flow of this talk show would be. This is in three parts. The first part, we will introduce all our extreme panelists, the young and enthusiastic speakers who have. Second, we will have some questions, dedicated question to each of the speakers, and they will share their views on those questions. And lastly, we will have an open house session. So with this, first let me just give you an gist about what this World Tourism Day celebration is about. Since 1980s, every year UNWTO comes with a unique theme to address all the stakeholders and sensitize the people about the importance of tourism and its impact socially, culturally, economically, and also as well as its relevance politically as well. And this year theme is tourism for inclusive growth, which in itself is a very interesting theme where we are not only focusing on the numbers, like in general, we talk about the GDP, the economic relevance of an industry. But here we are focusing on the people who are behind these numbers, and it's not only the owner of the company or the tourism board of a country. It's on the time the last stone that is unturned. A tea stall or a Maggie stall person in Leh Ladakh highway, or for that say a local community somewhere in the northeast state of India, who are doing their part and being dependent on tourism indirectly. So now going forward, I would request Shiny if you can share the screen and let me introduce the speakers one by one. Okay, so today we have 7 speakers, and to start with, our first speaker is Mr. Gyandeep Borgohain from northeast part of India. He is, a very passionate travel enthusiast and as well as an entrepreneur who is promoting and unique experiences in northeast part of India. He is very close to festivals. Adventure is in his blood. And now I would request Gyandeep to come forward and further talk about your organization, yourself, and how you have cope up through this COVID time and any initiatives that you are going to do post pandemic to make it all inclusive.
Thank you very much. Akash, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Thank you.
A very good afternoon to everyone, my dear respected teachers and all the alumni and all the stakeholders of IITTM and tourism. Happy World Tourism Day once again. I am from Assam, and first of all, before starting about Northeast, just wanted to give a short briefing about my company. So my company is called Kite Manja. We are based in Assam, and we promote festival tours, cultural tours, special interest tours along with adventure. And during the course of pandemic situation, we morely concentrated on doing research on new product development. And at the same time, we started promoting like local and regional tourism. So we started festival camping tours in Northeast, and we are part of all the major tourism festivals as of now. And now coming back to the topic of tourism in Northeast and about the post-pandemic session. So at this point of COVID phase, local and regional tourism have already started. It's a very good sign. And also we have been receiving inquiries from domestic tourism inflow, and some of them have already booked the tourism here. So it is also a very good sign and acquiring many and prospect tourism resources. And one thing we have learned from this pandemic is that along with inbound tourism, we have to concentrate equally and we have to give equal importance to local, regional, and domestic tourism to survive in this industry. And here, I would like to highlight all of you that Northeast has much more to offer than just the local classical sightseeing tours. It is very vast in terms of culture, geographic diversity, and so that like within 7 to 10 days tour will just give you an opportunity to plan for more tours for Northeast. And the possibility that you can travel with the local experts to the interior places. To having good experience on Northeast is another prime attraction of tours in Northeast. And that way, like with the help of local stakeholders only, you will be able to gain a pleasurable experience. And so that like by practicing community-based tourism, we can promote more destinations. And now at this point of time, we are concentrating on more on the outdoor activities like camping tours, adventures instead of mass tourism. So we will start with some more informations about Northeast. And as of now, I am passing the mic to Akash to carry forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Gandip, and we will love to know more in the next session. Now we will move on to our next speaker. As we are celebrating and tourism for all inclusive, we have representation from a female fraternity as well. A very young and dynamic entrepreneur who is like multiple talented. She is, and she is a yoga practitioner. She is a fabulous dancer, international certified yoga trainer. She loves to do Kathak as well. But doing all those things, now she is a whole-time entrepreneur in tourism industry. So Ayushi Agrawal, please come forward and share your views and introduce yourself to all the guests we have here.
Thank you so much, Akash sir, for this such a warm welcome. Uh, Good evening, everyone, and namaste. I am Ayushi Agrawal, and thank you so much for this opportunity. It's really an honor for me to be invited by the esteemed fraternity of IITTM Noida. And I would like to thank each and everyone to give me this opportunity to address this Augustus gathering and to be a part of this talk show. And also wishing everyone a very happy tourism day. So, as Akash said, yes, I've been into multiple of things, and my journey has been absolutely like a roller coaster. So, I have an experience of 2.5 years in tour leading, being a tour manager, and have made more than 5,000 people travel India and abroad. And apart from that, I've been a graduate in Kathak and also recently a certified international yoga instructor. So while making people travel to all the places, all the destinations, I used to teach them dance. I used to teach them. Used to be a facilitator and conduct activities. And this made me, I always wanted to merge yoga. I always wanted to merge dance and travel together. And this is what led to me become an entrepreneur, and Nitya with Ayushi came into existence. Also, I've been working as a guest faculty, and apart from tour leading, I do blogging, RJing, and also a wall artist. Nitya is, yeah, so I would say, to talk about my brand, Nityog with Ayushi. Nityog is a Hindi word, combination of two Hindi words, Nitya meaning dance and Yog meaning yoga. So while I would say we at Nityog, we aim to focus on the well-being of people, basically a happy mind and a happy body, and to enhance the mental peace of the people, which is absolutely right now the need of the hour after the pandemic situations, and to focus on their health, and so that they can fight in the difficult times and while staying even at home and making themselves fit and fine. Also, we are working right now online with all the segments, with all the age groups, and I work as a dance educator and teach different dance forms to different age groups, and try to help them and reduce stress, and also teach yoga and meditation to help clients to balance their lifestyle and make them aware about their mental well-being. So, yes, today I'll be talking about more on wellness tourism. Thank you so much, Akash. Thank you.
No, it's great, Ayushi, to have the passion and profession merged together. So we'll look forward to listen more about it later on. Thank you so much for joining today's talk show. Next, we will move on to the next speaker. We also have a very young dynamic representation from southern part of India, Mr. Bala Murugan, who has recently launched his a very innovative idea, and helping all the travelers in airport itself. But I would give this platform to Bala himself to share his experience and views on this. Bala, please.
Thank you, Mr. Akash, and esteemed faculty members and dear audience and students. It is a great privilege to be a part of this panel of speakers. I am Bala from Madurai, Tamil Nadu, and also I'm managing director of Nitya Tours and Travels. So this is my father company, so I have overtake, and I'm creating some new innovative ideas to the passenger in the airports. We have a lot of branches like in New Delhi, Chennai, and Madurai. And in Madurai Airport, we have a branches for past 3 years. And what we do in the Madurai Airport, like we focus on international travel services like documents clearance, providing entry approvals for a passenger who is traveling abroad. So visa assistance and many auxiliary services also we are doing. So this comes here like I'm doing for past 10 months. So a lot of passenger is the rural areas side, like Madurai is based on rural areas. So a lot of passengers who don't have aware of having the documents for traveling abroad. So they don't have any documents in hand. At the time of boarding, they are offloaded at the airport. So at the time of being that, I go and I clear and I help them. So it is like around 10,000 plus passenger I have helped, and the Airport Authority of India has also congrats me and given the award for that. And nowadays we are having a good business. After this pandemic, we are also promoting new hidden offbeat destination from Kerala, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu. So this is going to be a big thing after pandemic. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bala, and all the best for your new venture. And with this, we move on to our next speaker. Uh, very proud to introduce because he is also my batchmate. So Akhilesh Thapa, starting his career as an tour leader and worked with various reputed DMCs. He is a very kind of all rounder in his work and also in his regular life. Now recently he has started his own venture, the Bike Tribe. And with this, I will request Akhilesh to take the platform and share about your organization, a bit about yourself, and also how you have been doing through this COVID time, and what are the new initiatives that you would be coming up post uh, COVID for the revival and inclusive growth of tourism.
Yeah, good evening, Akash. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you.
Thank you for your wonderful introduction. The reason why I'm an all-rounder is because I don't have much money to spare, so I do everything myself. And yeah, so difficult times talking about the pandemic. Firstly, I'll introduce myself. I belong to Dehradun and I come from an army background, my parents, my family. So, traveling and sports has always been part of my life since a young age. And I never knew that it will help me in the future in and help me in what I'm doing right now. So, I'll talk more about myself later on, but I would love to talk about my company that I co own with three of us members. All three of us are proud alumni of IITTM Noida itself, Sabyasachi Pathak, Akhilesh Thapa, and Abhimanyu Mishra. So, myself, I'm one of the co founders, and the whole idea behind the bike tribe is to create uh, bicycle adventure tours wherein it's not just strict adventure, stereotypical adventure. It's about other elements of adventure as well. So the bike tribe, of course, cycling is the backbone of what we do. That's what we rely on. That's how the idea came in to play. But then we also make sure there are other elements. We also make sure it's sort of like a storytelling sort of experience. We talk about experiential tours, we talk about rural tourism, we talk about sustainability all the time. We talk about it because that is the future, and we believe some changes would be needed along the way. So that's why that's the core crux of how our operations are. And at the moment, during the pandemic time, answering the second part of the question is we sort of grew our company during the pandemic time. We were born, we are a product of the pandemic. So not always things went bad during the pandemic for us because we were pushed to do our own thing because of course a lot of us got jobless and we've been working for inbound travel companies. I was a tool, all three of us were tool leaders in Intrepid Travel, and we thought of doing our own personal thing, and it is paying off, and we are happy about a lot of things. Right now we are building up the company. We are building the website, we are building the packages, we are building PR, we are meeting people, networking, and we haven't yet reached out to our past travelers, but I'm sure as soon as things go back to normal, which I'm pretty sure, as Pawan sir said before, it would get back to normal. Uh, we are positive that will make an impact. Talking about Pawan sir, I forgot to greet everybody. A happy World Tourism Day to all of the esteemed members and the chief guest and our respected esteemed professors from IITTM because and thank you for this beautiful opportunity. Yeah.
No, definitely Thapa. So we all are hopeful that the industry will bounce back and जैसे हमारे पीएम जी ने भी कहा है नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने कि आपदा में अवसर. So your team has done something like that during this challenging times you are developing your
Yeah.
organization in a big way. So
Yeah.
kudos for that.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
With that, we'll move on to the next speaker who we have today, and it is someone who is known for his calm nature, very cool mind, and someone who is a renowned Indian tour consultant, serving travelers coming from all across the world to India. So with that, I will request Vikas ji to join in the platform and please share about you and your company and also what you are going to do post pandemic.
हेलो एवरीवन, नमस्कार एंड विश्व पर्यटन दिवस की आप सभी लोगों को बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं. So thank you for calling me, Akash, and other alumni member, and it's good to be a part of this association you guys have created, and it's honor to speak here. So as you know that we are facing challenges due to this pandemic, especially I should say that inbound tourism we are facing a lot of problems, challenges, and we are the one when the pandemic or this lockdown was announced. We were the one, or first we were affected because of we are depending on only the foreign tour operators. So let's gradually, we were assuming that after the pandemic, after this lockdown, we were assuming that it should not extend beyond May to the 2020 or June 2020. But unfortunately, it was till now, still we are facing, we inbound tour operator, we are unable to open our offices due to this situation, or we were scared to know. Once we get to know about the third wave, we were really, again, that we were feeling very bad that if it has happened again, then again, the time duration of this recession for the tourism industry will extend. But anyhow, we managed to do that as it is a sensitive industry. Inbound is one of category which is more sensitive than the other part of the tourism, because you know that I've been seeing this since my career in tourism industry. That before, when I was working, I've seen this. Whatever happened, wrongly happened in India, firstly effect to the inbound tours, inbound tour packages or inbound tourism industry, which is a good industry. I should say that we get to know a lot of things from different countries, so that we are learning it also. But positive things we are getting to know from ministry as well. As I could not introduce the Travel Site India. Sorry for that. Travel Site India is approved by Ministry of Tourism and associated with the IITO as well. We are an active member of Indian Association of Tour Operators. So we get to know that a few good announcement is going to be done by ministry soon. So that it's good news that tourism again will be bounced back. Not in November, December, maybe on October we can get to know some good news. So inbound, this is the industry which entire industry is facing issues. So inbound was one of the first trade which was affected. So anyhow, we are getting recovery, or we even I have opened my office that we are going to start our preparation, because industry is gonna bounce back. Also, we are expecting positive things. So let's see. Even that, a lot of tourists, they canceled the tour last year. They are approaching us. They are eager to come in India. I should say that they are coming. They want to come, but because of medical restrictions, they are unable to come. They are in a queue. I should say that foreign tourists, they are eager to come and they are in a queue. Although government has done a very good job, they have given a free, I think, 5 lakh visas to the foreign tourists. So people are Indian government is promoting. So people are approaching me that once your government allow us, immediately we will come. We will not wait 1 or 2 days. Even once the date is announced that we can come or we can land to India, we will land back. So this is the positive things we can come there. So all we should be positive about this. Tourism gonna bounce back very soon, right, guys? So this is the things I wanted to tell you.
Thank you, Vikasji. And with this, we'll move on to the next speaker. She is yet another female representative in this panel, Shrishti Sharma, another very dynamic tour leader by profession, and then she has also started her own venture recently, Women for World. So platform is yours, Shrishti. Please introduce yourself and your organization briefly, and then also a bit about how you have been coping through this COVID time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Akash sir, for giving me this opportunity, and thank you so much to the alumni organization for coming up with such great event over here. So, very warm evening, very good afternoon to all of you who are present here. So, yes, talking about my organization, this is Women for World. So, I'm the co-founder of Women for World, along with Komal, my colleague, and talking about how we are coping up with pandemic. So actually we started during the pandemic only. So yes, we started last year during the pandemic, and this idea came to our mind when me and Komal were having discussion on how the industry has been largely impacted especially the women in the businesses, in the small businesses in the industry. And this is how we came up, and we came up, with the thought that, with an aim, with a vision that we do want to, work for the women who have been working in this industry, and for the women who want to travel and who have this passion to travel, to inspire them, and to empower each and everyone to, come together and travel fearlessly. And along with that, we are also working to provide workshops to the students or the young professionals who would be entering into tourism industry, to basically provide them with skills required to enter into the industry. Because as we all are here to just talk about how the industry is going to bounce back post pandemic, and we are actually reaching that stage slowly and steadily. Revenge tourism is there, everything is there, and once it is going to bounce back, we do want those young professionals to, be ready to enter the industry. So we have been working on that also. And just yesterday only, we have arrived from Goa, where we were the travel partners for an event which was again based on women empowerment, where the organizers, they have invited women from all, of all shapes and sizes, from all parts of the country, to just represent themselves, and to just, they like just want them to be who they are and be confident in who they are and represent themselves as it is. So we had a lady of 71 years old representing herself, and that was like an amazing moment to, just see her and how confident she is in her body and in her soul. So yes, this is what we have been working on. So yes, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to present our organization on this platform. Thank you.
Very well said, Srishti, and thank you so much for joining this talk show. And now we're moving on to the last speaker for today's talk show. जैसे कहते हैं, last but not the least, Mr. Chirag Kandelwal, and he is the director of Tour Junket, a very dear, junior to me in college. So, Chirag, this platform is yours. Please introduce your organization and any new initiatives that you have taken in due course of COVID time. The platform is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Akash, for giving me the mic. And first of all, good evening to all my faculty members and all my dear friends here. And happy World Tourism Day. Let me introduce with myself. My name is Chirag, and I'm from 2016-18 batch. And in a brief consideration, I started my company while I was doing my OJT, and in that, during that on the job training and internship time, I was working twice in the two shifts. I was working on my own company, and I was working in other companies where I was doing my on the job training. After completion of my on the job training and the degree was over, I fully move on to my own company. And then in around 2018-19, it was a good time for me to get the opportunity to expand myself, and then I expanded my office into two different countries. One is Bali and another is Sri Lanka. Now we are operating from three offices, that is Noida, Bali and Sri Lanka, and we are DMC for Sri Lanka and Bali. And the initiatives which we took in that pandemic time, because we know if we were not working, then we could lose our shine. So to maintain that shine, to maintain the decorum, and to gain more knowledge, we hired some interns. And during all the time when we were having no business, we were teaching those interns that how to work in the industry, because we were preparing for ourselves to get a good generation to work for us in the future. Right now also, when the work stream is really low, Sri Lanka is still suffering with the lockdown. We are still having interns in Sri Lankan office with no work, but still teaching them how to work in the industry. Yeah, hand over to Akash.
Thank you, thank you, thank you for your introduction, Chirag. And with this, we quickly move on to our the main segment of this event, where we will be having dedicated questions to all the speakers, testing their knowledge, expertise, and it would help us to to see the revival of tourism uh, in few months, if I am not to be so hopeful too. Okay, so first I have a couple of speakers together. We will have Ayushi and Bala Murugan together. And my first question would be directed to Bala, that as we are celebrating about people's behind the industry. So the first question is, in an era of digital world, how do you see the growth of people involved in traditional travel companies, where it's not only digital equipments, it's more about people and their contribution?
Actually, a travel agent is, offline travel agent. They are, based on word of mouth, not in a digital platform, because the all the customer who comes to us, it's only the trust factor. So without that, we cannot do the business. But moreover, technology plays a major role in the tourism and the hospitality industry. We should accept it because it replaces a human labor expense, and also, it reduces some labor cost. Like I have worked in some company rocking trips, so there it's a like a crm and they are using it, and a lot of technology they are using. It actually reduce the cost, and also they are giving good customer services. So that I think technology plays a good role. We cannot compete with that. As a travel agent, I think I should adapt to the digital marketing, because it helps delivering many more leads means a business that is like money. So not more only the money, but also increasing brand and awareness, because here it comes a brand. That is what we should look on it. And also our traditional travel companies need to adapt some kind of vernacular content, like needs to create in order to attract clients from tier 2 and tier 3 cities. So both the central and state governments, like educational institutes, can assist in providing traditional tour operators like trainings, both soft and hard skills necessaries for the business. We are expecting this ones.
No, very well said, Bala. I do agree that definitely there has to be a blend between the softwares and the manpower behind the organizations. Connecting this thing to Ayushi, my next question is to you, that since he has talked about there has to be balance between digital platforms and the physical manpower, what actually motivated you to start your organization during the pandemic, and who all are the major stakeholders benefiting from it, be it directly or indirectly?
Thank you so much, Akash sir, for this question. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, all right. Okay, thank you. So, thank you for asking this question. And I would say I also started in this pandemic, my own venture. And we all were going through a very rough phase. So, I would say in 2020, while I was working on a MP tourism project with Trilophilia, and I was doing pretty well. And so I decided to start my own thing, as I had experienced a lot of tour leading. So I just wanted to conduct my own tours. I wanted to start my own venture, and I resigned and I started my own thing. Did not name anything to my organization, but started with all my contacts. And was doing very good, was very happy because I got 4 groups, and suddenly this COVID thing came, and things really changed. And so trying to cope up, I started just as we are when we have this thing that you are on the field, it is very difficult for you to stay indoors, but still trying to cope up with things. I started with art therapy sessions. I used to teach art, and I started with my own blogging. I started with my YouTube channel, and just trying, patiently waiting for things to get normal. And in October, when I was tested positive, and that moment, everyone cannot deny that they saw a very different version of themselves, a very underconfident kind of a person. When you cannot move your body, you don't have strength, you don't feel like talking to people. And these were the things, when anxiety kicked in and depression started, a lot of things. And I had never faced this, I've never seen this, because I'm such kind of a person. I really want my everyday to be very different. So I was facing all these things, and then I had a conversation with Shelza ma'am. So she suggested that, you should start doing yoga. And I said, all right, ma'am, I'll try, because I have not been someone who would go for yoga. So I started with it, and later on, just things were going little bit on the track, but not actually. I was the same person like I was before, And then ma'am only suggested that you should go for a professional course. And probably yes, I it took a lot of courage to go to some other place to learn all this. And because I did not had strength, I got opportunities for tour leading and last like in December. And for the very first time I had to say no, because my body wasn't supporting, and I was very much irritated from inside. So while I went for this wellness tourism, I experienced all these things. I became international certified yoga instructor in Rishikesh. That was actually not planned, but yes. And when I came back, I just got back my confidence, and I was not no more a person who I was in December. So I was happy about it. And that's when I realized that people around me are just feeling the same. Everyone, all my batchmates, seniors, juniors, everyone lost their job. Everyone was inside, everyone was irritated, everyone was going through a lot of things. And that's when I decided, that there has to be something that I need to radiate that positivity and that happiness around. And let people just make them aware of the best version. So yes, as I am a Kathak dancer as well, and I cannot leave dance. So I merged dance and yoga together, and I started with Nityok, and it's been 4 months, and we have collaborated with lot of people, and they have been benefiting us. Like the beneficiaries are very much benefiting from Nityog in I would say in if you talk about their physical strength, mentally strong, and emotionally, lot of things, because it's absolutely about crisis management, your emotional management. When you feel good about yourself, you can spread a lot of happiness around. So we collaborated. I have delivered sessions to hospitals, psycho wellness centers. We also collaborated with Women for World, and we collaborated with schools, teachers, and have been radiating positivity through dance, yoga, and meditation to all the people who have been joining my sessions. And also, Nityog has come up with, from past 4 months only, we started with Saturday special sessions, which can be joined by each and everyone. So we have various people from various places, different age groups joining our sessions on Saturdays. So that's how I got motivated and started. Thank you so much.
Great to know the story behind it, Ayushi, and it's really amazing and inspiring one. So I will move forward with the next question to back to Bala. Bala, means as an organization, since you started a new venture, you have certain expectations from Government of India, the Ministry of Tourism as well. So did you receive any kind of assistance and support, or if you haven't, what exactly you are looking for?
I think actually everyone know the answer for this question, because tourism has been one of the hardest hit industry by COVID-19. So like it affects many travel agent or tour operator in India and the world. So last week I met a tourist officer from Madurai. He has shared me that around 85 to 95 professional tour guide is like no job for 2 years. This comes not only travel agent but in the whole industry. Everyone who only believes in tourism, they are jobless and they are worried about it. So our expectation to the government is lot. So if if you give me the pen and paper, I will be writing lot. But what we our main expectation like is like GST relief, because it is a main problem for us, 5%, and TDS relaxation also we are looked, and also our income tax expectation. We are also approached to the government like Ministry of Tourism, and we hope that we will receive that, that will come positive to us. But our Thai president, because we are the Travel Agent Association of India, Thai president are approached to the government of India, that is Ministry of Tourism. They have allocated 10 lakhs loan sanction for collateral companies. Like that is something good from government we have received. This is a big thing for us as of now, and the pandemic is getting over, so we will come back and government also will help more. So what I can suggest is like government can do some more publicity and awareness about the monetary assistance providing to the business to be made by the central and state government as well, because not only it's the central government, state government also should take care of this tourism.
Very well, sir. I agree on the part of that state government and central government coming together, and the relief that we are expecting on GST. With that, I will move on to the next question. That is a very interesting one, because India is being home to naturopathy, Ayurveda, and yoga practices. Uh, Ayushi, how do you see the growth of wellness industry, the wellness tourism part in India, especially since you are a part of this industry, you are working in wellness tourism. How do you see its potential growth post pandemic, especially when people have been hit mentally more, along with the physical hit that they have got?
Thank you so much for this question. So I would say, if we talk about India being home to naturopathy, Ayurveda, and yoga practice, it's not. It's been like more than 5,000 years since we have been practicing this, and Western India culture. They are more particular about their health, and they've always looked forward to India for all these things, for no matter for wellness, for rejuvenation, for for all these things. So yes, after this pandemic, we Indians have also realized a lot about our health. We have been focusing more people are now working towards their health. They are trying to um, uplift themselves, and are self motivated to do that now. So if I talk about yoga, yoga is a life changing product. It is not something just would that would just lift you uplift you physically, or it is something that will uplift you emotionally also, spiritually also, and mentally also. So these are all the aspects that people are now facing troubles, and they are looking forward to all these things. I would say not only yoga, but in wellness retreats, if we talk about spa, these are also in very much in trend. People are moving for these, and definitely once things as international travel has is banned right now, few is not totally open, but lot of that has also created a lot of opportunity for the domestic tourism, that people are moving now to South India, since in South India a lot of wellness centers are very well known. In Kerala, if you talk about in Bangalore, in Chennai, also people are moving towards Rishikesh, and lot of cities which are uplifting them and which are helping them spiritually and mentally. So I believe that yes, now people are more focusing towards that, and there is definitely a big scope that people would be moving for that. Until and unless, yes, choosing your mental and physical health over everything, I think that is very very important. If we talk about inclusive, as we are talking about, as the theme is inclusive for all, I would say, if we talk about travel industry, every single person, no matter it's a rickshaw wala, it's a it's a, these small shopkeepers, everyone is affected. Their business is affected. If you talk about the hoteliers, five-star hotels, the aviation industry, and right now everyone needs to work on their crisis management, their health, their mindset. They need to understand, we as a industry, if you have someone working under you, you also need to understand that you have to take care of your people, those who are working under you, of the stress management, and lot of things that people are going through, which they do not talk about it. So yes, this is something now people are talking about it. That's a very good thing, and people are really trying to work on that. So yes, that's from my side. Thank
And
you.
to add on what Ayushi said, from economically point of view, and to students who are listening to us, you can also have career opportunities to all those associated industries that are aligned with tourism in wellness, like wellness centers, yoga practitioners. So be prepared, means upscale yourself, and you would be having a good opportunity ahead. Moving ahead, we will have next two set of speakers with us, Mr. Akhilesh Thapa and Gyandeep Borgohain. Uh, if both the speakers are there, please flash your mics once.
Uh,
Yes, great. Okay, so my first question would be directly to my dearest senior, means Gandhi brother. Since Mr. Gandhi, you represent to a secluded part of India, not that much, explored as of now, with immense potential. And as a tour operator, as an DMC, as a professional itself, there are times when you have to interact with the local community. And as we are celebrating tourism of inclusive growth, where we have to include every part individual to be part of it, what kind of challenges do you face when you are developing a certain kind of experience that involves local community, uh, people in some remote villages? Please share your experience.
yes, Akash, thank you very much. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay. It's a very nice question. I would love to share some experiences with you. And by sharing about the challenges, I also would like to give a short and precise examples as well. So first of all, regarding the challenges, when we started in 2014 and venturing into offbeat places of Northeast, the very general fact is like it is the remote place and the proper communication roads and mobile network internet was lacking. Still, it is lacking, right? So when we started with our promotion and to convey a booking update, so first challenge that we still face is like to convey just a message, we might have to wait for 3 to 4 days because we to some places we have to send messengers through sumo drivers so that they go with a message and the next day they return back with the updates. So such kind of challenges that we still have, but though these are became like a fact and we are living with it. So we are getting used to it. And other set of challenges, if I remember well, is the lack of information. So when we tried to operate tours, when we returned from Delhi and set up our company Kite Manja, so we were not finding any, it's not all operators, but the local stakeholders are specialized in certain segments or certain particular place or experience. There was no operator in like availability wise. There was no operators who can supply us tourism products or can gather or can give us proper information about entire Northeast. So that's why we have to venture. We took time to do our research in the enter part of Northeast for around 5 years to go and visit and have a look on the places, to do it repeatedly, to launch the product as a trial method, and then when it's ready, then only we launch. And few other experiences and hardship that we face that might be feeling and seems like funny to you as well, but like they are the facts. Like it was very hard for us to convince the local to work for tourism because it was very new for them. And the indigenous communities into the exotic locations, they are having paddy fields of their own. They're having, they are the landowners. Even they are owners of like 1 or 2 hills. And you can see the entire place, they are the owner, and how to convince them to work for tourism activities. So later, we got the policy of working with the village community. Through them, we got to convince the selected persons, and that's how the challenges were sorted out afterwards. And one very crucial challenge, now it is not, but firstly, when we enter to northeastern eastern part, because in Northeast, you have to know, like apart from the administrative or our constitutional laws, there are customary laws and rituals. And they have been living with from ages till till the history records are there. So they are respecting those rituals and customs, and they are not like prefixed. For example, when we were about to host around 250 people in one campsite in Zero Festival of Music, and we were having 5 days to set a wilderness place to convert into a livable and enjoyable place. And all of a sudden, we got to know, like the local shaman, that the pujaris that we say, they declared a ritual where you can't cut any branches of a tree or you can't dig a soil. And we were shocked. We were not knew about this. And that way, we have to stay tight, like we stay doing nothing for 2 days. And we were having only 3 days. And after that, within 3 days, I have to salute my hardworking team and the local supports. Within 3 days, we came up with a very good campsite, and people all across India, they were joining and they had a good time. These are the, and now, like, if we get to know about certain customary laws in one place, but it's, as you know, like in one state, it has, like, for example, Arunachal has 26 major tribes and more than 100 tribes. Every tribe is different from each other, and they have different customs, different traditions. And we must respect them because they have been living with nature. And to work like that, so you don't know when those kind of rituals might come. So in these parts, so like now we are getting used to it after years work. So now we are having slightly a backup plan for that. So another problem that we were facing in the initial years with the infrastructure, like if we have to promote one event or like festival or a tour, the hotels are very limited. And from a year before, all the hotels are booked by the major existing big shot tour operators. So with that solution, like we were unable to sell our products, though we have our interested clients. And because of this reason only, we came up with the idea of setting up a campsite for a festival. And for first year in 2014 and 13, like people accepted it. And we came back to Northeast just to operate tours, not to set up campsites. But when there was a requirement, we got to see, and people were accepting it for the experience, and for the locals also, it was very new. Everyone was excited, and we going ahead with it. And now it became a trend in Northeast. So now in every state, along with our friends or our co-workers or the local guides, now around 15 to 20 camping teams in each state are there. And we are happy that we started this trend. And yeah, people know us like that way. So it became a good way to branding our company as well. And since we have very less time, I just want to share another important factor, Akash, just 1 minute. Because of this, the issue of communication and language barriers. As I have mentioned before, like there are many dialects, many tribes, they have different dialects, communication medium, common communication medium is Hindi, English, and some parts, interior parts, there are people don't even know Hindi, don't even know English. Just we have to go through their friends, that connectivity and all. I will just share you one experience when we were setting up a campsite and for Hornbill Festival in the initial years. So there, once we called one person from a village where we were supposed to set up a campsite, and there we called one person like, okay, hi friend, like I got your number from your cousin, and we are in need of like around 200 bamboos. So please check if it is available or not. So I text him like, okay, please don't fix it, okay, just get us the idea. And after next day, I tried to call that person. He was out of reach. After 2 or 3 days, he just came back and he told me like, hey, bro, like I have sorted your problem. I came up with the 200 bamboos. It's by the roadside. You can pick it up. So that time when I inquired, so the work was not been fixed, but like the communication, the very basic words they hear, and that's how they convert it. And we cannot argue, because next year also we have to go to this place to work up there. So here, like since all our stakeholders are here, tourism promoters of Northeast, I would like to request every one of you, like whenever you are communicating with any locals of Northeast, like try to be specific and be like be concrete of what you are saying. Otherwise, like people over here, especially interior parts, are very simplistic. They just hear one word, one keyword, one time, one price, and they will go ahead with it. So like regular changing of itinerary or cancellation, and these are the things like you have to be very specific. So basically, these are the challenges that came to my mind as of now. And if time permits, in future, we will discuss more on this. And yeah, thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Ms. Gyandeep. And just a small request to all the speakers. We don't want to rush the speakers to talk about, but just keep your answers to maximum to 2.5 minutes, so that we can include all the questions and all the speakers can share their knowledge. With that, I will move on to the next question to Mr. Akhilesh Thapa. As Mr.
Yeah.
Gyandev was just saying that knowing about the various tribes and the communities that we have, UNWTO also realizes, and recently over the past few years, the theme has been revolving around the rural part of the world, or the communities in and around. So this year we have this theme of tourism for inclusive growth. What is your take on it? How it is going to influence the industry?
Akash, I believe it's a wonderful opportunity for everybody across the world, especially for us in India and other developed nations where tourism has a chance. And I feel this was needed in when you talk about first world nations, when you talk about destinations, let's say. US, the UK, Europe, Australia, things are very sorted out. They're already past that phase, and it's a full-on organized sector. But in India, as all of us know, things are getting set up as we speak, right? Just a few months ago, the Ministry of Tourism and IITTM also launched the tourist facilitator course. Things like these are coming up, so I feel it's a very good time for all of us, because we are being backed by somebody like the United Nations, and they are putting across this message, because tourism as such is a network of different service providers, big or small. Like one of you guys was saying in the beginning, I can't remember that, the CEO of a company, right down to the rickshawalas, or maybe the street food samosa wala, who you might not even think about if you're not in the industry. So it means a lot for them. I can speak from personal experience, 7 to 8 years in the industry. I've seen people, I've met people, I've heard stories of underprivileged stakeholders of the industry, building up on relations, and being provided that small push that they needed, and now they are doing better than us. I would proudly say that. Like some people form very meaningful relations and relationships with either the tourist or the service provider, or somebody who's even indirectly connected to the industry, for somebody who for whom tourism is a side job or a side gig. So keeping that in mind, the whole theme of United Nations about inclusive growth, right? Inclusive growth is a certain game changer for all of us, and I feel for us in the Indian side, or I would say you could talk about Sri Lanka, Nepal, or Myanmar, or Bhutan also on a similar fashion when you talk about tourism. So I feel these factors need to be all, these components need to be all organized in a certain way, slowly as we go. Of course, it cannot happen overnight. It has to be planned out, it has to be gradual. And in a country like ours, where there are like 2 billion plus people, I believe things do take a gradual time for change. Like you test it out, it works, then you test it out again, it works, and then you execute it, and then you copy the model elsewhere. So it's a welcome theme. It's a wonderful theme this year, and it would, of course, help everybody socially, culturally, and politically, and economically on various levels and various scales and slabs, right up to the top and right up to the down. So I really hope all of us are more open to this idea from now on, and I wish all of us good luck for this theme. Yeah.
Very well said, Akhilesh. And just to add on to that, it's like, as you said, the western part of the world is pretty much sorted, and we are getting things sorted here as well eventually. Uh, just to add on to that part, as you represent the adventure tourism fraternity, and often the experiences includes nature and people in and around those experiences.
Yeah.
This draws my mind to two terms, responsibility and sustainability. How, as individual and how, as the bike tribe, you make sure that adventure tourism is regrowing and making it sustainable at the same time.
Right. This is one of my favorite topics to talk about for the bike ride, because that's what we've focused our operations to be on. Those are the parameters we really want to check, keep it checked on with a green tick mark always, because we believe the tourism. See, I'll talk about the adventure tourism industry in India, which is still fairly new. And when you talk about adventure tourism, the first thing that comes to your mind is, like trekking or hiking, or let's say rafting, or maybe camping, like Mr. Gyandeep ji was talking about. So that's we've already. I would say that's sort of like soft adventure. But when you talk about our beautiful country, we have all the seasons and we have all the terrains you can ask for, right up to the north, to the east, to the west, to the south. We've got the cold and the dry desert. We've got tropical rainforest. We've got the coast. We've got landlocked areas. We've got the mighty Himalayas. We've got everything you can ask for, but it's still getting organized, like I said before. So I feel when you say reintroducing adventure tourism, I feel it needs a repackaging thing to be done to it, because now we need to move ahead uh, if you want to be successful. That's what I feel. So things like cycling, like we started the bike tribe because we felt there was a need for these certain factors that was missing all across the different sectors of our industry in adventure tourism. So, keeping that in mind, we wanted to bring our expertise from our previous jobs or workforce. And I'm also a hospitality graduate. So, keeping that also in mind, hospitality and services. We're talking about wellness tourism with Ayushi. So, keeping wellness tourism in mind. And later on, we want to. Our tours, we want to design the food also with a nutritionist, so that everything is kept into play. We also want to keep yoga classes. We also organize rustic elements that may not physically make you into a better person, but emotionally and mentally, it provides a lot of healing. Like just a simple activity, like going to the village, which I'm sure other companies also do, but going to the village or making cooking food with the locals, enjoying a sunset. So keeping that in mind, we wanted to repackage the adventure sector from our perspective, from our vision. And when you talk about responsibility and sustainability, it's like how all of us, we go to the mountains and we go to the same we go to a shop, to a cafe, we eat everything, and we almost subconsciously we throw it. I'm not blaming everyone. I'm not saying that it's you, but that's again, we want to educate people on that. We want to bring change. If we want to do our bit, it might not sound a lot. So there are various things that we have incorporated in our tours that makes us responsible and sustainable, because that is the future. And like for instance, we always use on a longer tours. So we have like weekend tours, we have half day tours in Delhi for people who are full on into work. We also have expedition tours, longer tours. We have multi-day tours. For the longer tours and all sorts of tours, there is always some sort of meal involved, because cycling, you get tired. It's like trekking and hiking. So you need your nutrition, you need everything to make it a good gig, because people come for the physical element, or they might come for the experience, or they might come for other things. And we wish to combine all of it together. So the food that we provide is, if there's food on the way, we provide reusable containers which can be washed like steel containers, like those dabba wala boxes you get. Yeah, utensils. We try our best not to use reusable utensils, but when we do, we get wooden utensils. These days, easily you can get it in Delhi or elsewhere online. We also carry our own water, so that we do not want our guests to constantly buy water from outside. And we are actually catering. We wanted to cater to the inbound sector, but now we're catering to the domestic sector also. So keeping that in mind, we thought, a foreigner who comes to India, mostly they drink packaged bottled water. That's what we recommend them to do. So that's why we carry our own huge 20-liter water cans, which is kept in a support vehicle. Everybody can refill their waters, or else when you go to Leh and Ladakh, where it's hard to get these things. So if you've heard of this brand called Livestraw, which is an American or a Canadian company, I don't remember. So that has a filter in it. You get different versions, different sizes of it. So we've got a 20-liter one, which is basically a bag. You pull it out, put the filters in, fill water in, and within 3 to 4 hours, you have 20 liters water ready to drink. We do that. If even that can happen, we can boil water everywhere. We also I have plans later on in the future. Now, this is a very far-fetched plan, but later on, if we get better, we want to scale ourselves to be able to afford and involve electric vehicles. As you know, these days electric vehicles are coming up slowly in India. The only problem is the electric charging points. So later on, when we have more cash flowing in, maybe we get into that. And we also want to rely on applications and internet and the humble mobile phone, smartphone. There's a reason why it's called a smartphone, right? So rather than using a lot of paper and providing information on paper, we are trying to develop an app like 2 or 3 months down the line, where tour leaders, the office members, the operations team, and the tourists can all access information about the tour on your mobile phones, which a lot of companies already do. So small things like these, of course, there's a support vehicle, but we make sure there are checkpoints where the vehicle stops and does not burn too much fuel. If it comes behind us constantly at 20 kilometers per hour, which is the average speed that you cycle at, so instead of that, we ask the drivers, we vocationally train them to always make checkpoints, stop for us at checkpoints, because certain places there's no reception for phone calls in case of emergencies. So these little things, we are trying to be responsible and as sustainable. It sounds a bit superficial at times, but it I feel the quicker we use these involve this into our daily practice, our operations, I feel things will be much easier 5 years or 10 years down the line if we do so. So I hope that answers the question. Yeah.
Thank you. Just quickly to add on, Gyandeep, if you can add on the responsible behavior that Akhilesh was talking about, what exactly is your expectations from tourist travelers visiting to Northeast? If you can just quickly, briefly, just share your expectations.
Yeah. So regarding the tourist behavior in a particular place, the most important point is how we are giving them the briefing before the tour starts. The things to expect and things to do and things not to do. If we are able to convey it properly, and actually being a promoter and operator, we all should practice that. And if you are doing it properly, so that like the visitors, they will go and greet and respecting the local customs and traditions, and that way the locals will also welcome, and that way a good balance and a good platform of exchanging each other's, the guest and the host, views, their expertise, their sharings, their cultures, that will be very helpful in that way. So yeah, we hope for the best, and Akash, you can carry on. We will be following you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gyandeep and Abhishek. Sorry, Akhilesh. Please stay tuned. We may have a couple of general questions later on. Moving ahead, we have the next set of speakers with us, Mr. Chirag and Mr. Vikas. If both of you are here, can you flash your mic? Thank you, Chirag, for
Yeah,
joining.
hello, hi.
Okay. So quickly, Chirag, I will just dive into the question that I'm willing to listen for your view on. Uh, like we're talking and celebrating persons behind the industry overall we are working for. Every stakeholder, like working from a chauffeur or a local guide or to your uh, counterpart in some other country, we all have different expectations and requirements at times. So as the owner of the company, how will you develop an all inclusive growth strategy, making sure that everyone receive the due recognition and also they grow along with the company?
Akash sir, this is really a nice question, and I would like to answer this question in really brief. And as I know that we do not have much time for this, so coming to the direct point, to answer this question, that how can we go into inclusive tourism? Sir, we have already started working on this. Whenever we are working in my organization, especially I can talk about myself and my organization. So whenever we are talking in my dealing in my organization, we deal like we are whenever talking to a driver, to a cab owner, or any of the thing, any of the component of a tour package, we take in consider of due respect given to the person, and we take in all the ideas from the drivers, that how he wants the tour to be made for the customer for giving a better view of the city. Then we talk to the hoteliers, and after completing the trip, we also we had make it a habit to give the customer an all inclusive package, in which he can go through the smallest part of the town, like getting to the small things and getting unexplored items also in the package. Like if I talk about Sri Lanka, in Sri Lanka we usually do a trips, like we take them to batik factory, take them to silk emporiums, coffee emporiums, tea shops, tea productions. Not only to the big one like Dilma or Sri Lanka, Ceylon tea, we take them to the smaller ones also. From where if a customer is going there, someone who is visiting a tea factory would buy something, approximately 100 rupees business will be given to them. That would also be a good part for them. And then taking to the gem mining areas, where people are in the gem industry, the sellers and the traders are good enough, but the people who are mining are not that much wealthier. So we have made it a point that we add a small glimpse of the gem mining also in our package if a person is going for 5 days or above.
Very, very well said, Chirag, and it makes very much sense. Uh, just to take it further, if we have Vikas with us here, so Vikas, I guess we are missing him in the platform at the moment. Chirag, if you can just continue and just address another question, because
Yeah, sure.
we are during a pandemic time, one of the most challenging time of century in tourism industry, if I may so say so. So, what's your take on this statement? Like, is it the time to become more flexible and evolve as an individual and organization, and not limit yourself to a particular domain of service? Like for example, you are already doing domestic and outbound, so
Yeah.
having that kind of flexibility, definitely, what's your take on that? Will it help or not?
Yeah, see, Akash, as answering to this question, you can only see into my organization that we are not stringent to any of the particular side. We are already flexible in all the terms. Like earlier, when I talk about the pre-pandemic area, like 2019, we were strictly dedicated towards outbound. That is the reason which gave me an expansion side also to expand my office to Sri Lanka, Bali, and then coming up with a New Zealand also. But then this pandemic taught me that we cannot only depend on the international side. We cannot do only depend on outbound. We have to again stick to our land part, and then we came to the domestic tourism. But strictly we still stay apart from the inbound, because it requires lots of formalities. So in parts, in terms of domestic also, we try to give the best thing possible, and as my daily routine, I really keep on talking to the drivers, individual drivers who are doing whenever I'm traveling in a Ola or a Uber. I try to connect with the driver and give him a trip so that he can earn a good amount of money instead of doing a one-day trip to anywhere.
Very means relevant example that you have given here, and I think everyone can relate to it very easily. With this, I will request Srishti to join us, and this also gives me a sense of happiness that when we are celebrating an all-inclusive tourism sector, growth of it, how can we leave behind the equal participation of male and female counterparts? And with that, I will request Srishti to answer this question that as a female entrepreneur, do you believe that tourism has we are celebrating tourism for inclusive growth, so do you agree or disagree that tourism industry in itself offers equal growth opportunities for all, irrespective of gender and age and other demographics?
Thank you so much, sir, for putting up this question, first of all. And to answer this question, from my personal point of view and what we have observed, what I have observed in the industry. So to start with, there's a report by WTTC, yes, World Tourism and Travel Council, and according to that, there are about more than 51% women in tourism industry who are there, who are a part of employed in tourism industry in India. But now, if we look at the industry, we do not really have many women who are, in the upper hierarchy in the industry or representing tourism industry in India. Okay, and I'm really sorry. Yeah, so there are not many women representing tourism industry in India. And now just giving you an example of what we have heard, like when we have met, other women entrepreneurs in the industry to collaborate with Women Forward. So we just went for a meeting with two women who were also running group tours and they wanted to collaborate with us. And one of them, she was like that if you want to conduct tours, the group tours, then you always need to have a man with you. So we still have, like, we are still living in, such, like, with such thoughts, and people still believe in such thoughts that no, you need to have a man, to coordinate with the group, to lead a group, and women are not capable of doing so, right? So, but yes, this is for what we are here. This is for what Women Forward is here to, break that assumption that people are still having in their minds. So, yes, I do disagree with the, with the comment that we have just made that no, it is still not inclusive. But yes, this is one of, the main vision, the main aim of Women Forward is that we do like we cannot really make it women women powered industry, but yes, we really want to make it a women inclusive industry, and we do want more women to be, a part of this industry, and we do really want to help the women who really want to, explore a part of this industry. So yes, I hope this answers your question.
Yeah, very well answered actually. And this is one such rare disagreement that we all counterparts who are present here will celebrate it actually. So it's one that such rare disagreement that we can celebrate together and say proudly that our industry is definitely including everyone and anyone from every part of the world, irrespective of any uh, ethnicity, age, or gender bias. So kudos to that, to the tourism industry. Directly moving on to the next questions, Srishti, you started your career as a tour leader. So another thing related to gender itself, you know, uh, tour leader as a profession itself is someone who is a central point and who connects all the dots of the a particular tour. So how do you see that they get their due credit and you make sure as an organization as well that the tour leader gets their due credit? And the last part of the question is, you are a female representative. What kind of career opportunity do you see for females as and tour leaders?
Thank you so much again, sir, for putting up these questions. So to answer the first question, if the tour leaders have got a due credit in the industry. So I would say, again, from my personal point of view, I would say that morally, we have got the credit. Yes, we always get that respect, and we have always made those connections, and we have networked with a range of people, or the suppliers, or the tourists who are like, who come to our tours, and we always make that connection. So yes, moral support is always there, and it's a huge opportunity actually to be a tour leader and to represent your country, and being a brand ambassador for a country, and it is in itself a huge responsibility that you are having as a tour leader, right? But now coming to the financial part, I do not really think that we have got the due credit in the industry. Again, I'm like coming to the pandemic only, taking an example of pandemic only, we all have lost our jobs. And the first people, like the first stage of people who have lost their jobs in tourism industry were the tour leaders, because there was no tourism going on and there were no operations, nothing was there. So we were the first of the lot who lost their jobs and who were sitting at their homes without any work at all. So yes, we have, like, there was no support for us, even from the company or the ministry, or I don't know, like, just to give a few organizations. But and again now and okay, so yes, now again talking about the financial aspects, there are like, yes, now we all are just the freelancers, right? Tour leaders, mostly in most of the companies where I have seen, we are employed as freelancers, and we are not a part of the company. No, not many of the tour leaders are, given a full-time job in the industry. So again, we are not even like. What to say, that we do not really get all the benefits of what a person gets or an employee gets when they are a part of an organization. So again, we are not getting that financial credit actually when it comes to tour leaders in the industry. So yes, there are yet, like, I think that we need to have a few initiatives, and like there should be some reforms in the industry, maybe, if when it comes to the tour leaders or the rights of tour leaders in the industry. So maybe we need to work on that in the upcoming years in the industry. Now, coming to the second question, the opportunities, the career opportunities for women in tourism industry, or as tour leaders in the tourism industry. So, when I was in IITTM Noida in 2017, I guess we had like there was this course going on of our RLGP program, regional level guide program was going on in our college. So, in like during that time, there was just one single lady in the whole lot, or like in the whole group who were there, who were a part of this course. There was just one single lady there. And because we still do not have that awareness, and now when it, especially when it comes to India, in our communities, we do not really want women to take on such jobs, because we have like we are burdened with a lot of responsibilities when it comes to women in India. So it is not really considered as a very good job, as an ideal job for women. So again, we need to work on that. We need to be an example, maybe, as we are the leaders, we have been the leaders in the industry in the past, as tour leaders in the past, and so maybe we can, like, we can represent ourselves as tour leaders and showcase, ourselves and the benefits and how ideal this job can be for women. So maybe there is a need of awareness again in that sector for women to be a part of, this career in tourism industry. So yes, like there is still a lot to, do in the industry. Yeah. Thank you.
Definitely, there is an immense potential with
Yes.
this. I'm very glad to hear from all the speakers sharing their views and knowledge, experience, whatever they had working in the industry. Uh, with this, I would like to thank all the speakers for joining in for this session. We are done with this question, second part of this show. I would request Shiny if we have any question from any of the visitor or any of the guests, so we can put it to our speakers. And in the meantime, I would also like to, congratulate the Alumni Association for arranging this wonderful talk show to celebrate World Tourism Day. So once again, round of applause for the president, Ms. Ali, Ms. Shiny, and Ms. Sangeeta, and the entire team of Alumni Association for arranging this show.
Yeah, thank you everyone, speakers. You had really done a lovely job out here today. I'm really proud that you and honored that you could get and take out your time to come in front of us and share your views, because you guys are you are in the forefront right now and have to go through a lot of all these difficulties, but even in the middle of that you have come out strong and done so much for yourselves as well as you're doing it for the community, and you have moved forward. That's a positive thing which I really appreciate. And congratulations and best of luck for your future as well. I don't think so there are a lot of people left to maybe ask questions, so I think we should end our session here and now. um, and I would really thank all our faculty who has been present with us during this time, and also our mentor, our chief guest, and I think Pawan sir and Lama sir and all, they have all just left, but I'm really thankful that they could come and join us during the session as well. So we are really proud of you guys. You have done a really good job today. So thanks a lot for coming over, and please, best of luck for your future.
Hurry, I am still
And
here. Actually, everybody left. Well done, guys. Well done. I was here,
yes, yes.
so I was just listening all the things. But what happens, like it went too long, right? So अभी खाली 11 लोग हैं जिसमें कि we all are here only. Otherwise, almost all the student left. एक student है हमारा उत्सव बोल के, उत्सव जोशी, I guess. He is from the junior batch, so he is here. Thank you, Utsav, for coming. Otherwise, yes, I was there since you have started with, right? So session was really very good, and you all guys came together and discussed all these things. That's really very great. So kudos to you all guys, and ऐसा program करते रहो. And if you want the help of association, then I think associations are always there to help you guys. So you can come up with some more things, right? मतलब कोई भी चीज हो आप करो, मिलके करो, तो it will be an give and take situation. अपना भी हो जाएगा, उनका भी हो जाएगा, like that, right? So it was really very nice, and thank you very much for coming and making this session a wonderful session.
Thank you, sir. Just
Thank
one
you.
thing that I would
Thank
like
you.
to
Thank you,
add,
sir.
that we have a recorded session of this entire session in Facebook.
Yeah.
So just in case you want to refer to, you can go to the IITTM Alumni Association page and get the recorded version of this session, which you can share in your social media handles as well later on. And just one small information, celebrating this theme itself of inclusive growth. I am also coming up with a small initiative, that is Travel Mitra, where I would be connecting with all the freelancers and the settled organizations, and be a connecting dot, connecting their expertise and knowledge, and offer it to the travelers within India and from coming from abroad too.
Yes, thank you
With this,
very
I would
much,
request Shiny ma'am
IITTM.
to conclude this meeting.
Yes, yes, definitely. It was a really, very nice session, and felt like coming back to IITTM session once again after so many years. Thank you very much for this opportunity and for organizing this event. It's a successful event. Thank you.
Yes, thank you everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
We will connect again.
Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Yes, we will.
We'll
Thank you so
connect
much.
again, okay?
Yes, we will. Once again.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. सर आप म्यूट में हो, बोलना है तो।
ठीक है सर, लाइव हटा दिया अभी, मुझे पता है 20 मिनट लंबा, 25 मिनट लंबा हो गया, सॉरी।
हाँ नहीं, हटा दिया, हटा दिया।